As a special honor, Dr. Alexandru Pop has been selected by the class of 2019 to deliver the class message. You may be seated if you like. Dr. Pop is the president of the class of 2019 and the recipient of the Randall B. Terry Jr. Leadership in Veterinary Medicine Scholarship. Alex was born in Romania and comes to us after living in New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and ultimately Asheboro, North Carolina. He is a 2015 graduate of NC State's Animal Science program, where he was a food animal scholar and a member of the Alpha Zeta Agricultural Honors Fraternity. He's been an active volunteer in Vet Pack, Vet Camp, Carolina Tiger Rescue, FFA, and Habitat for Humanity. Following Hurricane Florence last fall, Dr. Pop volunteered for 2 weeks in Chadbourne, North Carolina, assisting with supply distribution and emergency treatment of animals. He's also an artist, carpenter, and builder. Dr. Pop has long had an interest in large animal practice, crediting Dr. Brent Scarlett of Asheboro, a 2002 NC State grad, for allowing him to shadow on farm calls in high school. Following graduation, Dr. Pop will enter large animal practice right here in North Carolina. Dr. Pop.
Good evening, everyone. Honored guests, faculty, my mom and dad, Maria, Liviu. My name is Alexandru Pop, and for those of you who don't know me, like Dr. Nelson said, I'm the president of this beautiful, beautiful group of people this beautiful, beautiful group of doctors that is the class of 2019. During the weeks leading up to today, as I was making the finishing touches on this speech, I kept getting cold chills thinking about what it would feel like to be here, experiencing this with everyone. And I'm not going to lie, it feels a little bit surreal to be standing here right now. Many of you may not know, but this is actually the fourth rendition of this speech. They told me that Kirk would be standing close by with a PVC pipe ready to take me out with a little dart if I say anything too crass. 4 short years ago, just over 1,371 days, but really nobody's counting, we all met in this very building. I sat right over there. I just made that up. I have no idea where I was sitting. But I do remember exactly who I was sitting next to. Tyler Perkins. And it's so odd to think that at that point we were all just strangers. I remember, and I'm sure you all do too, the first few weeks of vet school. All of those super helpful orientation icebreakers, those get-to-know-each-other games. It's no surprise to me, but it wasn't until those nights at Brick House and trivia that the class of 2019 really began to fall for each other. And boy, we fell hard. Some people actually falling in love, like Nick and Cece, who, by the way, are getting married in a few weeks. Others falling in deep thoughts about other things, like how we're going to be stuck with each other for 4 years. Probably shouldn't make any enemies quite this early. Soaking up the formalin, spending 8 hours a day, freezing cold in a windowless classroom, it was everything we had dreamed vet school would be. When we walked into those doors, there was so much we didn't know. We didn't know that anatomy exams doubled as spelling tests. Or that it's actually pretty nice to listen to lectures when Dr. Gerard not only has an amazing Australian accent, but also wore a dress to class. We didn't know quite how many words we had been pronouncing wrong our entire lives, or that throwing a retirement party catered only by Bojangles could ever mean so much to someone. As year 1 ended and year 2 approached, the pure thrill of being accepted into vet school began to wear off. That thrill was replaced by knowledge of muscle attachments, advanced physiology, and detailed board-level knowledge of advanced surgeries, common knowledge for a first-year vet student. I remember watching the transformation of our lecture hall as it was renovated between first and second year. But it wasn't until that first day that we all saw it. We had upgraded. They gave us a window. Now we could look outside. And now as we sat in class more and more that year, those seats that we thought weren't assigned slowly but surely gained their rightful owners. And if you've ever wondered about territorial instincts in humans, I urge you to go sit in someone's seat in a lecture hall at school one day and see what happens. You know, this room actually looks renovated since the last time we were here. I'm hoping Samantha and Angelica are somewhere nearby in case they gave this place the same microphone system we have. That second year being corralled in the classroom, we not only learned medical knowledge, but also life skills. For example, that an 8-hour day can quickly be condensed into a 4-hour day if you watch it at 2 times speed at home on lecture capture. And although I never learned which one is blue commons and which one is green commons, I did learn that if you were wondering what the answer for number 7 was, you know, the one about BVD and calves where the in utero infection with the non-cytopathic strain seemed like the obvious answer, but then you remember that tidbit that Dr. Sherry was talking about in lecture 23, where she talked about mucosal disease after exposure to the cytopathic strain, and then you chose C instead, and now you're not really sure? You could definitely find the answer to that question in one of the commons. Each one of us has had to have had a year that we consider to be our biggest challenge, or the year that, you know, added the most wrinkles to your forehead or most gray hairs. I don't know about for all of you, but for me, this was third year. I'm pretty certain that most of my wrinkles have actually come from squinting at those radiology lesions that I'm still not convinced were ever actually there. Either that, or the face that I made when I woke up at 8:44 one morning and realized that I had just slept through our first exam of the semester. But somehow, even through these hardships, we found happiness by sharing this struggle with those around us. And for that, I will say my first of many thank yous, not only on my behalf, but on behalf of many of you, and I hope you find yourself saying this a lot this weekend. Thank you for lending that white coat. Thank you for letting that person borrow your coveralls, your stethoscope. Thank you for picking each other up when people pass out during labs, or in some cases, helping them dodge their patient on their way down. Thank you for helping with morning treatments when people's cars wouldn't start. Thank you for nudging Eric awake during rounds. For quizzing each other, for laughing at our mistakes, for pulling each other up when our families become sick, for supporting one another when we lose those closest to us. And most of all, thank you for never becoming too competitive to let someone next to you fall no matter what. Thank you to the professors that showed us empathy when we had those colossally horrible days, for sending us home, for letting us sleep when you know that we've been up all night. Thank you for learning our names and listening to our wildest dreams, for helping us through our journey to discovering our passions and pursuing our goals. And most of all, thank you for understanding that, you know, Kim and Emily really don't like to be apart, so it'd be best if you put them together for small group activities. They really work best that way. Thank you, Dr. Linder, for teaching us the proper way to describe a suppurative lesion when we write it down. Thank you, Dr. Guy, for teaching us just how important it is to take your pets to the dog park. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for reminding me to support livestock and not eat so much salad during class. Aspire to be the Dr. Fosters of the world, the Gerards, the Baileys, the Posners, the Lubarts. Be the Lunds, the Harrells, and the Taylors, and the Snyders. Because to us, vet school was 4 years. 4 years on the way to the rest of our lives. To them, we are the products of their passionate dedication to teaching and passing on the skills that we have today. Thank you to the parents. to the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, the people whose journey through vet school started not 4 years ago, but 23 years ago. When your baby picked up that flea-ridden cat that they heard meowing outside behind the trash cans, when they brought it inside, when they showed it love, compassion, and most of all, showed you a little spark in their eye that took off and turned into this. Thank you, husbands, wives, siblings, girlfriends, and boyfriends, for being there while we studied, for helping remind us to eat and shower and take care of ourselves when we forget to. Thank you for picking up the phone, for understanding what we were saying, even though we were ugly crying because we just failed an exam, for listening and talking sense into us when most of us at some point or another wondered, do I really want to be a veterinarian? Let's face it, we did not choose an easy profession. Learning is difficult, and whether you know it or not, your passion for what you love has driven you here. When we receive our degrees tomorrow morning, they will be given to us, but we all know that we earned them. Everything we have done is what we have done. We have worked and sacrificed and bled and broken shoulders and had knee surgeries and back problems and passed each other the flu. And what we did, all of the people sitting to your left and to your right, is incredible. We became veterinarians. We became doctors. Through every exam, every surgery, every last rotation, and let's not forget those damn communications classes. We did it. Sorry. So I want everyone to take a second and just realize where you are right now. Because in 10 years or 10 minutes from now, you're not going to remember a single word of what I said. But you will definitely remember how you felt. So I hope that we can all just share this special moment together, take a deep breath, look at the people next to you, and just savor this moment that we are in right now. This is our vet school graduation. We made it. Now tomorrow, after we all wake up and drink our Gatorades and take our Advils, we will receive those degrees that we have earned and begin our journey towards accomplishing our next goals. It may be to fulfill an internship, get that first raise or promotion, or if you're Cade, hike all the trails at Glacier National Park. He's moving to Montana. I'm a little jealous. But between these big life moments, remember to enjoy the little wins. Remember to stop and look at the flowers every once in a while. Enjoy your drive to work and treat every cup of coffee like it's the best cup of coffee that you've ever had. Vet school has pushed us and has thrown so many hard weeks at us that we had to just get through. Well, starting now, we need to stop getting through. We need to stop just surviving this hard week because our life is just a bunch of this hard weeks. Goals are just milestones. And although this particular goal is close to being accomplished, I really hope that we can all continue to hold on to special moments that we shared on this journey, and we are all able to speak to the student inside of us for the rest of our lives. Thank you so much to everyone, and congratulations.